I'm just waiting for the other panelists to join us. This is Startup Sunday and our weekly uh, informal boardroom where founders come together and help each other. I'm really looking forward to this one. We have Sonu Gupta um, from Coder's Brain. And we have Mr. Subranil. Hi, Subranil. Very good evening. How are you?
Am I
Sorry, not able
audible,
to hear.
Jagat?
It's
Okay.
breaking. I think now it's a little better. Yeah, now I think it's better. Very good evening, Mr. Vijetha.
Hey.
Hi, Vijetha. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah.
You're audible. I think lighting wise, it seems okay. I think there's one spotlight of bright light just above your head. I don't know. That's blurring your face, Subranil. You see, there's a light upstairs, no? Right on top.
Let me
Huh? Yeah, that light. So
let
maybe
me
you can
just
just
take that out.
yeah. Just take that out because it's making your face look totally almost zero.
Good evening, Vijetha. And I think we're waiting for Sonu.
Oh no, yeah, we're waiting for
We are
Sonu.
live now. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook.
Thank you so much, everyone. It's absolutely delighted to be here. Startup Sunday, informal boardroom, and thank you so much, Jagat, for setting this up. It's always a pleasure and delight to everything is going good. Okay, so how's the Sunday looking, Jagat? What's new? I think you guys have been doing a lot of changes on the product.
Sure. Always improvements. Yes. Again, very good evening to everyone. Very good evening to Vijetha as well. Sundays are always time for the family a little bit. And of course, my parents were here. My sister was here. So we just had a small family get together. Now we're back in
Okay,
business. Hi,
fantastic. Hey, Sonu, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, Vijita, good.
Sonu, I think Sonu has entered on my link. Huh? That's the
yeah.
problem.
So I need to leave this?
You can rejoin as Sonu Gupta. You got your link, separate link. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Give me a second.
Yeah. So say Subranil, you're back. You're okay. So guys, this is the thing about technology, isn't it? Sometimes networks and connections and cross corrections, etc., keep happening. So, but in the interest
Is
of
it
time, I
better,
thought, yeah, Subranil, you're
Vijetha?
good. You're good. Yeah, you're much better. Okay. So we have
So,
Kanchan, so we have Kanchan, we have Jayant, and we have Sheila as well, who has joined in. So what I will
Yeah, is
also
it
do
any
is,
better, Vijetha?
yeah, it's much better, Surya. It's fine. Okay, so what we'll also do is Kanchan, Jayant, and Sheila. During the course of the evening, you all are most welcome. In the interest of time, come in. I've enabled the raise hand option, so that you can easily just come in and say hi to the founders. You can say hi to Jagat, Sonu, and Subranil, and of course to me if you want to. Okay, so Sonu, welcome back, and it's good to see you. So today we have a couple of very successful and interesting founders, Jagat. So it's very nice to have everyone here. So Sonu, would you like to start? Would you like to just quickly say hi and also introduce yourself?
Sure, Vijita. Thanks, Vijita, and thanks, Jagat, to give me the opportunity. And so basically, I run a company called Coders Brand, and so we basically provide on-demand developer, and we work with multiple kind of like startup, SMEs, and MNCs. So typically, our model is very agile. Like we take the small piece of work and do as a MVP and deliver it, and
Okay.
wherever they need any mass or volume, and in terms of the resource augmentation, we support that. So I will like give you a quick presentation, one slide up.
Okay.
Just give me a second.
Yeah, sure. Please.
Sure. So typically this is our services. So we provide on-demand developer, and typically our model is more of like, let's say you want to have a, let's say, 2 hour developer or some kind of the CTO where you cannot hire that resource at that particular kind of the cost. So we come as a tech partner to all these startups. Okay, and right now we have around like 185 members team, and primarily we work on front end, back end, and all these kind of the technology side support. So this is all about me. Like, this is how we segregated all the developers, and right now all these guys are fully engaged. And let's say if any technology side, any company need any support, we are always here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sonu, and that's very nice. All right. Subranil, would you like to quickly introduce yourself, please?
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Vijetha, Jagat, and this is a wonderful initiative. Really, actually, because I relate to it much strongly because this is how actually I started that in 2015. Got connected to Sonu later on with Vijetha also, and we all are actually in the same system where we are trying to actually contribute back to the startups actually. So I myself, I come from IT background. Definitely, I spent more than 2 decades in IT, and then started my ventures. And quite a few ventures are there. In this particularly, I'm talking about my education venture because always, which is very close to my heart, because we always felt that during, even it is during this time also, the India doesn't have any experiential learning. Forget about that. It's all about study and exams, study and get assessed. So what we are getting assessed for, we are getting assessed for being able to actually create something for the world, but where we are actually. So that's like the whole premise of my company also, and probably close to my dream also, what I wanted to do. So I'll just quickly and definitely I run a lot of other ecosystem like Entrepreneur Cafe, and then I have not-for-profit Kailash Sangeet, which is
So
to
I think
provide.
meanwhile Subranil join. So I mean, like let's continue then. Like I think.
No, he's fine. He's fine. Sonu, don't worry.
Yeah,
Huh? Relax.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we can hear Subranil. Continue,
I
Subranil.
can, yeah, yeah. So we that Kailash Sangeet is all about social and cultural development. We provide a lot of support to the local Indian culture, how we can actually bring that. Apart from that, one of my bread earner is also interior design and design solutions. We are trying to move toward the design overall. And that's also actually because of the reason is that we always felt that every Indian deserves a good lifestyle. Why the lifestyle? And we felt that very strongly is that good home, good environment. How we all IT guys actually feel that if we
Hmm.
don't have good ambience at office, we always crib that my productivity is going down. So I
Okay.
think that's actually very true. Your proper lighting, your seating, your ergonomics makes huge difference that your productivity is. So that's how we try to actually bring it in the home segment and the office segment also. But yes,
Okay.
apart from that, the biggest passion is that apart from this is on the education field.
Fantastic.
Vijay, give me just 1 minute. I'll quickly share
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
one slide of it, and then
Yes,
I
yes.
will switch off.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Please do that because we have quite a few people who have joined. Subhanjan has joined, Kanchan has joined, so we want to get them online because this is about the informal boardroom, right? They should be talking to all you folks, correct? That's what it matters.
Okay. Can you see this screen?
No, no,
What
you
I'm
have to
showing
click.
now?
You have to show us a specific screen that you want. Yeah, okay, done. That's perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So
Go
this
for
is
it.
quickly about the STEM. Yeah, this is quickly about the STEM labs. So it's all about build, play, and learn. And we are so happy. Coincidentally, what happened is that lately, that when the new education program came up for India and the Atmanirbhar, self-reliant Bharat and all those, though it is at very top level, but definitely I think we are pretty pre-aligned to this. So, and we believe this. Benjamin Franklin's once say that tell me I forget, teach me I may remember. But if you start involving the kids, they will learn it forever for their life. So why STEM education? I would not go into that, but our strong premise behind this is that in the first 8 years of your life, it's so strong that 80% of the brain development happens during this time. And if you don't make sure that kids are getting involved with their sensory organs to learn, I think we'll miss out a lot. And we know that how the world is changing, and we are also very, and I would say that Vedha just selfishly for Indian kids, honestly, I'm talking about, though we will be global. So we want them to be a global citizen. We want them
Yeah.
to be
Yes.
connected to the world citizen, and then that's how they are. And this is how
Correct.
we actually bring our workshops, our STEM learning, making the science models and all those are very practical based.
Yeah.
And we
Very
teach
interesting.
out, and we have also now introduced a block programming, which is a logical extension of this. This is what
Fantastic.
typically about that.
Beautiful.
If I
Beautiful.
can share the challenges, Vijeta, is that okay
We'll
now?
come to that. Not right now. Not right now. We'll come to
Okay,
that.
fine.
Okay. So,
Okay.
just to let our audience know what we are. You can stop screen sharing now, Subhanil. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's fine. Yeah.
what we are. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. So what today we'll be talking about very specifically is that as founders, whether it is Jagat, Sonu, or Subranil, there are always it's okay. We know that it's not very smooth. This Startup Sunday is about focusing on the fact that there are always a couple of challenges that we face, and not just that I want more customers or I want more funding or I want more marketing or PR, but very, very specifically, we talk about what really matters. Okay, so we'll take this as a round robin. Sonu, I would like you to get your first slide up, which talks about your two challenges, and then Subranil, you'll go next, and then Jagat, you would like to also talk about your challenges. Sonu, would you like to share your screen?
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. And to the audience, that is Kanchan, Subanjan, and everyone else, we would love your input as well. So, Sonu, please go ahead, talk about it.
Sure. So once again, good evening. So typically during the COVID time, I am facing a challenge in terms of productivity. So all of my team members are working from home, and it's like very difficult to track them and getting them sense of like ownership and get the things done. So I seek input from you guys saying that like how I can improve this productivity. Do we have any kind of the training or kind of the some kind of the incentive or kind of motivation techniques to these resources?
Absolutely. And how big is your team right now, Sonu?
So right now we have around 70 members.
Okay, so it's a huge team spread all over multiple cities, isn't it?
Correct. So we work across India because nowadays like the developers are working from Indore, Ahmedabad, Jaipur, Chandigarh. So all
Correct.
these locations these guys are working.
Not easy. So
Even
it's not an easy task. Not an easy task at all. All right.
correct.
So and then you'd also quickly talk about a second challenge as well.
Yeah, sure. So second challenge which I was till now I was doing in more of referral kind of things. So here basically like I was connecting and getting those leads. So right now I'm looking at kind of like positioning my company to international market. So here I should get the kind of the qualified lead.
Absolutely. Fantastic. So it makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, I think Jagat, this is something that always comes up, okay? That Indian founders should not just look at the Indian market, but we must have the confidence, skill set, and ability to go global. Beautiful, beautiful. So what we'll
Correct.
do is let's now go to Subranil next. Would you like to share your two challenges, please?
Yeah,
Thank you,
definitely.
Subranil.
Thank you.
Let me
Let's
just share
stop
the
there.
screen. Huh?
Yeah, please do that. Please do that.
Just one second. Sonu, if you don't mind, if you can just put it on the comments, it can be there for reference for us later. We're just
Sure, sure,
Yeah,
sure,
just
sure,
copy
sure.
paste. Yeah.
and Subranil as well. After you finish, you can just
Yeah.
share it.
Yeah, sure. Sure. I just want to give you context that this water actually the under the water means a lot to me actually, and just small story just want to share is that there's actually always people come to us, even Vijetha and Jagat, all of us would relate to it. Many startups and all those, and probably the people that we mentor, they ask that we are not sure that what we are looking for in our life, or probably as a business target, what is the next, how ambitious you are. Yeah, as simple as that. That there was actually a saint was there, and there was one person came and say asked the saint that I'm not sure that what I'm looking for. So then what he does is that he puts the person beneath the water and says that now you tell me what you. He's saying that I'm getting drowned and I'm not able to take any oxygen. So now he asks him that what you need most. So that means you need the most is the oxygen now at this point of time. So any ambition or any target that you have in mind, it should be as good as oxygen in your life. You won't be able to survive without that. So that's the contact that I wanted to set to you, that which is very close to my heart actually. I'll just share the two challenges quickly. One is that the business sustainability and scale during these odd times, and definitely it's been a challenges for all, and especially for us, is that we have to really reinvent and reinnovate ourselves. And second thing is that getting a funding from external agency is very easy, actually, honestly, I'm telling. But how to run any business without any external funding and make it very self-sustainable business? These are the two things definitely we have been working on, and some success are there.
Fantastic. So, brilliant. Yeah. So we have you just put it into the chat group. Okay. Jagat, would
Yeah.
you like to very quickly put your two pointers, and then we can
Yeah.
open it up for more interactions across the board?
Yeah. No, mine stays constant. Nothing much changed since last week. I only focus on two things: product differentiation. How do founders remain creative and always trying to be ahead of the curve also, but being relevant today? I think that's like the biggest trade-off as a founder. You always want to build, and it's not that you build it out of a kind of that's how you are. As a founder, you're always somebody who's innovative and you want to do things in a new and nice way. But understanding that market is ready for certain products and it needs to be in sync. That's like a huge balance. So product differentiation, keeping it relevant is very important. And second is of course ecosystem. As you know, Vijetha also, and for the past few months we have been very very relentless on building this ecosystem, doing a little bit we can. These are my two things. I'll put it in.
Fantastic. So let me now go back to the round robin thing kind of thing. Okay. So Jagat, you have seen the two challenges that Sonu's talked about and also Subranil. All right. So maybe I can start with you, bullet pointed. Okay. What could Sonu do and what could Subranil do? We can talk about that. Just make it crisp and then we'll open it up to the audience as well.
Sure. Right. So very quickly. So thanks. Again, everything can be taken. Advice. There is a lot of advice, free advice especially. So I think as founders we know that. But always good to have advice. It's up to the founders to choose what they want to do. It's completely their decision. It's just our views, right? So no, I think fantastic. You have a great business, and honestly, because we are like very core on video communications, we have spoken also, and hopefully we'll engage sometime. The first thing, of course, team more productive and take more ownership. This is I am sure every single startup founder is it's really similar. And the second, of course, the international positioning. So the way I see it, number one, in terms of the team, I'm not a numbers guy in terms of teams. I generally keep, as a startup, we have very very small teams, like micro, and that's how we like to work. And generally, I always try. It should not be coming from the founder down. Like we should not be telling them, guys, give us updates, what's happening, why we late. That culture does not fit in a startup. So I think empowerment is very critical. And when we hire new people, there has to be a grander vision for them. I think that's very important. It's not a HR question where you see yourself 5 years from now. It's actually what are they doing, and if they come in as a junior level executive within 3 years, can he actually move up the hierarchy? I think that helps them do why they want to do something as opposed to taking instructions. I think nobody likes to take instructions and stuff like that. So empower them, give them a big future, and for that, of course, I always tell you, you already have everything you deserve today. Unless you be more, you cannot get more. So that's, I think, the way I look at it. Of course, there could be various processes, but my thing at a very high macro level is massive empowerment, right? Like, let them build the dream with you and let them build teams for themselves, number one. Second is international market. That, we had this conversation also where you said domestic and international. There are two ways to look at this today. I look at it because we're a SaaS company. Our competition is international. But there are two ways to look at this. One is that we can look at the international markets. But today, because of coronavirus, I think every country is really focused on themselves. And that's very important. Atmanirbhar, and it's almost like a Swaraj or a Swadesh. And that, I think there are two ways to look at it. I think there's going to be massive growth in India. We are we're going to be the fastest growing country. Domestic may itself satisfy all your appetite, right? Secondly, I think so that's my view in terms of development, because India is the home now for knowledge capital and development. This is where it's going to happen. And I think as the per capita goes up, your fees will also go up. I know why people go international a lot. Sometimes we feel the ARPU can be higher, but I'm bullish on India's growth. That's my 2 points. Subranil's, again, I don't like to do much sales on our shows, but Vitphone we have built keeping this in mind. I'm also a founder, and we all share similar goals. We want to grow the business, grow customers. So number one is we cannot do the same things we did 6 months back. And typically that's like, inertia is really a crazy bad thing. We have to change completely the way we are doing business, whether it's marketing. And business means what? The way I look at it is, of course, there's the internal business where you have your team, your ops, you have all of that stuff that's behind your doors, and you have customer facing business, which is really important. It's what the customer sees. And what the customer sees is 4 things or 3 things: marketing, sales, and support. And today, how can you take these 3 things completely on video? Because that is the only replacement for in-person meetings. So I think Vitphone we have built this for that. The simple tip for, how do I grow in these tough times? Well, nobody has the answer. Google also has come and said, like, everyone's, stuck. So you have to be different radically, be creative. I'd say the last decade was the age of productivity. This decade is all about creativity. So, be creative. External funding business, well, I ran the business for 9 years bootstrapped, and I think there is a wonderful kick and there is a great satisfaction in running a bootstrap company. But I'd say never have these thick lines. It's not like if you have external funding, it's bad, or if you don't, it's not. It's not like this. I think it really depends on the stage of the business. If you're ready and you have customers coming in, you want to scale it, and you suddenly need $1 million, you cannot bootstrap your way to $1 million revenue. I mean, very quickly. You need that funding. So I think yes, and to answer that, how to do it without external funding? Well, it's uh, it's a challenge. That's why most companies are failing. Most startups fail because it's tough to get money from customers, right? So that's a long, tough question. But my thing is keep it open. Don't say no to external or internal. Like keep your options open.
Correct. Very nice. Very nice. So Sonu, you wear the hat that say of Subranil, okay, and the two things that he's talking about, right? And he's talking about funding. He's talking about the building this business, scaling up during these tough times, correct? So I know that Sonu, you had also mentioned to me that in the first few months when the lockdown happened, you had a tough time. You had some struggles. Then things changed. So what did you do that maybe Subranil can kind of think about also? No, can you give him some inputs and suggestions?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I mean, like I seen couple of very good, like the point basically in terms of like the more of connections and more of referrals during this tough time. So let's say if you have a direct connect with all the customers, or let's say via your community managers, okay. So then easily you can sustain in any tough time. So because I seen, I mean, like till now I didn't do any kind of the digital marketing, or I never hired a salesperson. And my only, I mean, like the grow how I like get connected via Jagat or Vijetha or let's say Subranil. So they just say that, I mean, like just connect with this guy and he need developers, or they need to build the MVP or those kind of the products. So that is how my business was running till today. I mean, like and I my if you see my zero, like in the branding or kind of the marketing side, I have a zero cost. Okay, till now, I mean, like even if like I do website and all those development, but I don't do myself. Okay, any kind of the branding, those kind of thing. So I see this is a great opportunity, because like right now you are sitting at home, you have more time to think, and you can connect with your 10, 20 friends who you talked three years before. And because for me, see, every day I talk around 40, 50 guys. Okay, so when I talk these founder, I mean, like I get to know new things. Okay, and right now they are like previously they were in this stage, now they reach to this upper level, and that is how they are growing. Okay, or let's say some guys are at fixed stage, but still, mean, like if you make a connect with them, then still you can sell your any kind of product you have it in the startup market. Because I seen like many very small product, even if you do small work also, you can sell it easily if you have a good connect. So that is the point for me. And second thing regarding the external funding, it totally depends on the kind of like why you need external funding. That is the first question I have. It mean like whenever I talk to anyone. So because see, end of the day, your business should speak yourself, saying that, mean like are you getting that much money? So let's say if you are selling a particular product in 100 rupee, you should at least get 30 to 40% markup. Okay, if you are not getting, then you should not do that business. I say stop. I mean, like for me, see that is. I mean, like I'm a completely Marwadi guy. Okay, you know, I mean, like when I was in sixth class, so my grandfather and I used to sit in kind of a small shop, and we used to sell every day around 50 rupee or 60 rupee. So that is how I gone. I mean, like, and when I came to Bangalore, I was only having around 1,000 rupee. Okay, and I joined Honeywell, and then I used to travel 2 kilometer walk. I never used to use like auto rickshaw and all those. So I seen those tough times, and so same time, like I suggest me like whatever the business. So I started like I did my that photo couple of business I did. I mean, like, but not as a kind of like the website based business or kind of the more of aggregator business, but I did like offline way. So let's say I started catering business, I did like microfinancing. So I started giving loans for let's say 1 lakh rupee, 2 lakh rupee to these entrepreneurs, and they should mean like they should grow. But I did many business, and then I realized it mean like, so you can, if you have that money, you can multiply it with different ways, and this is up to you. I mean like how you do it.
So what you're also saying that keeping in touch with people, making a lot of calls, connecting with them, building the
Correct.
relationship goodwill is more important today than ever. Okay, that's a nice one. I think something I'm sure Subranil is doing it, but maybe a little bit more focus on that, because more customers, more customer money, that makes sense. All right. Fantastic.
Correct. And second thing is regarding the low hanging and high hanging fruit. So you need to figure out that like which business is giving you more work. So right now, recently within like 6 months to 1 year, I seen like many guys which I am focusing, they are not able to pay much. Okay. So I have put those in low priority and that high priority. So you need to figure out like Pareto chart, 80-20. So who is your 20% market or customers? Okay. If you figure out that, easily you can grab the things.
All right. So that is also being a little bit tough also, right? You can't just go to anyone. You have to go to only those who...
Correct.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. So now can we reverse it? Okay. Sorry, Jagat. Yeah, please.
No, but I think I just, because in the interest of time, I ran through very quickly. But I must take this minute to say that I think, of course, Sonu's business with the application development is very important. But Subranil's, I think the thought process he has is amazing. And I think definitely today's time, I just became a father. And I look at, I studied at NPS, National Public School, Christ College, NIT myself. I think Sonu also from NIT. And we look at how is education going to look in 5-10 years from now. And it's a scary situation. And you have a real, mission in your hands. Happy to collaborate. I think it's very important. We need to sit sometime, understand the business. I think, are you doing B2B, B2C, Surya?
We are doing both. B2B actually was primary before the COVID. And since schools are already loaded with online, so it has more now, B2C has taken the priority.
I think B2C is really big because you're going to see homeschooling becoming really big in the future. I myself, I don't know, I have decided my wife, but high possibility I may homeschool my kid because I don't trust the education system.
I think Jagat and me are pretty aligned actually.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's why we're on the same screen. Right. I think you end up, an average, let's say you're doing engineering, you're probably 22, 23 years old by the time you do engineering. You're doing medicine, probably more than that. And just look at the time that's gone. And Sonu is doing business when he was 5 years old. So there is a gap there. I don't think you need 22 years in education system in India to be productive and to get value for your life. And
Jagat, I think you nailed it, Jagat, I think in the one word. That's why we have been saying that we don't want to actually overwhelm the parents by saying that I'm getting your kids ready for become a businessman. What we are telling them very certainly is that we want them set the mindset that you can do something of your own. Don't start your life by thinking that somebody will give me a job and I will be a very settled in life. Create jobs.
Absolutely. And 10 years, as an entrepreneur myself, I look at it, we have to look, there is this fascination with the West where everything is relativistic. It's always a competition. And in India, and if I'm a fairly spiritual guy, and if you look at what Adi Shankara says, his whole philosophy is Advaita, which is to do with absolutism. And Dvaita is relative, right? And when people are absolute, you end up, and in India, we have a very absolute culture. We never had this competition culture, because we were guarded by the Himalayas and Hindu Kush on top, and then down the Vindhyas are blocking. So there was no invaders. We didn't have to go conquest like the other countries. We had settlements. So we didn't care much about other people. We were the richest country in the world by far. We are 25% of world GDP in 1750. So you have a mission and happy to collaborate. But I must hats off to you. It's a brilliant mission.
And Subranil, can I also say this? It is not just about children, right? We all need this kind of education to reinvent ourselves, okay?
Correct.
Whether you're 20-year-old, 30-year-old, or like me, approaching 50 or whatever it is, but you still need to have new skill sets. Otherwise, how can you really perform and add value? Okay, great. Okay, now guys, what I would like to do is very quickly, the conversation stays positive. Jagat and Sonu and Subranil. So maybe like a few pointers on some of the things that you're doing. Now, Sonu, I know you have a slide ready which you can talk to, which you can present also. Some of the activities that you're doing to make sure that you're able to thrive and you're able to manage the situation, right? Staying fit, spending time with family, etc., etc. So, Sonu, would you like to quickly share your screen and give us a 45 seconds capsule of how you manage this?
Sure.
Vijetha, when it's this over, then I will get back to Sonu also some of the inputs on his channel.
Yes.
So, so quickly, basically, I start my day around morning 7 a.m. and go for yoga around 1 hour, and then I sit on laptop and see, you never know me. see how time goes in the day. I mean, like, but still you have a lot of pressure, a lot of like, this guy is going, he put the resignation, and this issue came, this client is escalating, all these jerk and pressures you have. Still you need to manage your family, and you need to, I mean, like, you need to maintain yourself. And I'm like, sometimes what will happen, I mean, like, you never know, I mean, like, this guy is asking some XYZ salary, and I mean, like, you need to manage, I mean, like, and you want this resource and customer don't want to release, but this guy want to go. And like, so considering all those aspects, I mean, like, I am able to sustain it.
Interesting, very interesting. And
Yeah.
Subranil, you wanted to give some inputs to Sonu as well, please.
Absolutely. I think this what Sonu just told. I think absolutely. So with respect to the challenges, some of the things that we are following is that being a small company, I think nothing stops us from seeing ourselves like a big company with respect to employee benefits, employee. So what I've done is that I've spoken to, and because of the network, actually, it makes it very easy for us. So some of the insurance companies actually I reached out to who are in our network, they offered actually the 3 to 5 employees also. There could be a healthcare, health insurance. Generally, we always presume that it is always for 20 plus and all those. And also, I'm exploring is that to see that PF kind of, which is maybe a private PF for them. So like and the lunch and small snacks for them. I'm talking very simple here because this actually creates such as emotional bonding with the founders. They think that it's a small company, but they're taking care of us so much. And then imagine that if you take a family plan of one CUG of Airtel, it costs you only 1,500 rupees. With people, they would think that, oh, they have given me all postpaid. I can browse, I can do so many things, and it doesn't cost you much. But the emotional connect is multiplier actually to your impact, and they will stay with you forever. And top of that, what we have introduced is that incentive based kind of payment. You close one deal along with us, there will be something. You close project well before time, you will get something. So they always look forward to it, and it's working at least for us really good for us so far. So that's actually a very easy one. And second thing that you're talking about how to position company in international market, get more of higher quality. Definitely, we can work together, Sonu, on this because it's not only India that they look for the other vendors, but in US also. What my friends talk about the tier three, tier four companies, they also need lot of actually tier three, tier four companies in India that they can connect with and affordable to them.
Very interesting. So I'm just making notes. So one you're saying is that even it's a small thing like the mobile connections, that few hundred rupees it costs you, but it gives them so much of value. Number one. Number two, you're talking about is insurance part of it also, because
Hmm.
that it builds a trust, a goodwill, and also makes their life so much more easier. Because yeah, the insurance makes a big difference. Amazing. Thanks so much, Subranil. That really makes a lot of sense. And I think Jagat, you also written some of these pointers. Okay, very nice, very nice.
Useful point, Shubha. That's a
Yeah,
really
yeah.
mobile
Awesome.
is great.
Correct, correct.
Bring the
So
family.
we have Kanchan and Sheila also here with us. If you guys do the raise hand, we can get you into the call. Okay, I think that would be of tremendous help. And Jagat, what else are you doing? So you have one person, your CTO, young father. So what are some of these hacks or productivity tools that you adopt? If you can give some bullet points.
Yesterday, I think I mentioned, I try and stay creative, and I think very important to be creative today. Processes are great, and running a startup is different from running a big business. Sometimes you need to have multiple things you're trying to find that real, the price points, the exact customer TG you're looking at. So it's kind of unfair sometimes to ask a startup to work like an enterprise where you're just focusing on sales, sales, sales. Steve Blank puts it very well. Startups are about searching and finding that scalable and sustainable business model, and that searching is critical. And when you search, you may not always find, but you have to be searching. So I try and stay very creative because ours is a hyper competitive space, and I love what I do. I mean, as I said, typically. So one, I stay creative, and how do I stay creative? Of course, I do meditation. It's very important to me. I spend a lot of time meditation. And the second thing, of course, I play music. I play guitars. I write songs, and in fact, I read that music, when you play music, it's a total workout for your mind, complete brain workout. It includes, the logical side, the creative side, the whole mind. It's like, like it lights up. And there's actually studies that show the brain activity when you're playing music. It's like every part of the brain is is kind of illuminated. And that's music is something that I really playing music is very important. Uh, that's one thing. The second is I think which I'm working on is of course my diet. It's very simple and it's very fundamental, but I think you become almost what you eat at some level. Right? Food is medicine, and I've been very erratic with my things. So a couple of things I'm trying to really fix now. Creativity is of course always there, but my diet. I think everyone should focus on a diet. One day, if you eat sattvic foods, your whole brain starts rewiring itself, and that makes you a better founder. It's so simple. And these are two things I'm doing. I can share more, but maybe later when it's time.
Yeah, but maybe we can always put it on the chat window, share some links, etc., etc. That will also help, right? And it's like if someone says yoga is there, if diet is there, like what do you mean by diet? Okay, so maybe some of these things we can elaborate on a little bit more. We have the time, and it will be very useful.
You want to take that?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Someone's raising hand. You want to take that? I think Sheila.
Yeah. Okay, Sheila, I can take her now. Okay,
yeah,
perfect. Sure. Yes, give me a second, Sheila.
I think she's popped out. Kanchan also is there.
Kanchan is there. Yeah, that's what I was. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll take Kanchan first. I'm just okay. Okay, Sheila's back. So maybe I'll do one thing. I'll just disconnect Sheila and get Sheila back. Yeah, I'm connecting Sheila. Yeah, there she is. Hey, Sheila.
Yeah, hi.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Yeah.
So nice of you to be here with us, and would love to hear a little bit about yourself. And you can.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just say, actually, I'm a financial advisor, and I am specialized into a mutual fund.
Okay.
And I'm here because of Subranil. I know Subranil personally.
Okay, beautiful.
And I'm really completely with him for that STEM lab education. And personally, my granddaughter, who is 8 years old, is immensely benefited with this program. So I'm continuously for it, and then I tell all of the parents, that this is a need of the hour, actually. So that is the one reason that I'm over here, because it is a connect with Subranil. And secondly, I was very much interested this startup. My nephew is also actually is a IITian, and he is also trying to start up his startup in healthcare data analytics. So in fact, I had sent him an invitation, maybe whatever the reason he has not, I couldn't see him joining it. So I thought that, it would be a good to know what exactly, it's very interesting. And I really appreciate that, the way you people are giving the input. So that's basically would really impressed about the whole thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That's very kind of you. And please, stay on, and we would love to make sure that you get the right insights. Much appreciated.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Much appreciated. Take care. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Subranil, for getting ma'am here. Okay,
thank you so much.
That's very good. So so coming back to the thing, Jagat, whatever you're talking about, some resources and other things, you can quickly put it on the chat as well, so that will help us out. All right, Subranil, coming to you. Okay, that Sonu has talked about some of the things that he does. So what do you do? I do know that you have two very enterprising young children. Your wife is also involved in your business, and she's a homemaker as well. So how do you guys manage the situation? I mean, you and your friends, and and guys, you can also give some best practices from your other friends who are entrepreneurs. Okay, that's absolutely no such thing that is only from what you say.
Absolutely, Vijetha, I think you said it right. And during this, I think this pandemic, actually, what Jagat was talked about is absolutely relevant. Pandemic actually turned out to be a boon for many of us. Imagine that if we had an excuse of like 2 hours journey, travel time to meet a customer, that is completely eliminated, that excuse. You just have to say that I'm present there on the Zoom, which saves your 4 hours. If I have to travel to Electronic City, definitely it is 3 hours minimum to and fro from Whitefield.
Zoom or Bitphone or whatever it is, any video.
Yeah, Bitphone. Absolutely. So, and if you are using that means you are using this 3 hours to talk much more, something more productive, which you can even arrive at a result. So there will be a business. So there's always that whole thing, and I'm telling you that I'm not just for the sake of supporting the VidPhone or any other video conferencing, but lot of positivities are there. One thing is that you can record it, you can go back and improve your learning, how you are probably presenting, how you're talking, your thought process, and also you can share with others. So for my company, it has become so easy actually for the training. Every time we take a workshop, and when we actually record it, because we have customers in Qatar and Dubai also, there's a different language and all those, and that becomes very useful for us to go back and make some improvements, what we are doing, how the kids are behaving, all those kind of things. And who knows, those data can be used later on for the various kind of analytics.
Mhm.
And that was not, and imagine that on the lighter side, it's very easy to manage the participants. Imagine that on the lighter side, if I'm making a presentation to a client and my colleague is sitting and I need to make something different, because it always you have to make adjustment why whether things are going on. It's so easy to ping him on the in parallel on the chat or something. So it's actually very easy to manage it, and moment, and it also gives you time to absorb or observe rather that what client is thinking about,
Yeah.
their thought process, their body
Hmm.
language, and you
Body
can make
language, eyes, आंखों में
it.
डाल के.
Yeah. And yeah, really, you can make adjustment. But there, actually, in the present, in physical,
Yeah.
you would not be able to do so much.
Correct,
That's
correct, correct.
something.
No, interesting, Subranil. Hey, I just trying to get Kanchan back. Okay, just let me
Hmm.
just see.
I'll share more, little bit, more, few more on
Yes,
the
yes,
personal
yes, yes,
standpoint.
yes. You must.
Yeah. So on the other side is that now this has given us this time saving, has given us opportunity again, because I keep telling everyone there's a little bit of difference in the Western and our culture is that physical. I relate to Jagat again is that physical and spiritual. You can actually strengthen yourself in this too. I think anything that you can meet, because generally what happens, we get mentally fatigued when
Yeah.
some challenges comes, because either you can't run or you cannot sustain. But if you're
Okay.
strong in these two angles, I think any
Yes,
targets will
yes,
be like your
absolutely,
resilience will increase drastically.
absolutely, absolutely. Fantastic, Subranil. Hey, we got Kanchan here. Kanchan, good evening, ma'am.
Hey, hi.
Namaste.
Good evening, everyone, and yeah, Namaskar. It was very, very, a lot of learnings there from Sonu, Jagat, as well as Subranil today. A lot of things to learn, and they are way ahead of in the journey. Managing 70 people, 10 years into the business. So much to learn. What Subranil mentioned about how do you manage employees under is like really it's gold, because I have been dealing with a few interns and facing challenges just like you, Sonu, but coming from a neutral party perspective, it's easier to advise rather than when you're in the situation, because I was feeling the same kind of issues which you are facing in terms of why doesn't the work get done the way basically we have talked about, and why there are delays, team issues, etc. But I see that you're also struggling with it, and at a much larger scale with a permanent employee base. Like I said, it's always easier to give advice. So, which is why I thought I'll share some of the things which came to me. One was that after I had a dealing or dealt with the interns, I came across something which is called outcome based, basically goals. So you don't look at how much of a work they are doing, or are they doing it continuously and things like that. You just focus on the results. Is what is suggested for a remote work kind of a situation. So just if you just can figure out what are the goals going to be for after a certain period, and focus on those rather than trying to monitor how much of a work are they doing during the day, and are they sleeping or just bunking and things like that, because that would bring a lot of peace of mind to you. And the other thing is there has to be a little bit of sensitivity to the employee, because they're dealing with a lot of issues at the home these days, and if you put a bit of pressure on them, they're most likely to snap, basically, in the situation that you're in, when there is mentally you're insecure, health there's a health threat, your family maybe not not be very cooperative at times, so though it's easy to imagine that family will be very cooperative at times, they also would kind of push back and say, no, we're not going to do that, and things like that, and you end up with the work. So given that situation, one of the things would be outcome based goals, basically, and not activity or task based things. That I think even I have to implement, though I'm suggesting it to you. I have to look at doing that. Other thing is frequent meetings and communications with the employees, just to check what are their challenges. Not like, of course, monitoring all the time, but just having, like, you having these conversations with outside people, just having either you or your managers constant interaction, be it day to day or after 3 days, or so, just to find out what are their challenges. And because as a manager, either your or your immediate manager's job is to remove the obstacles from their lives, basically the employees' lives. So in which case, that would also help. And the other thing would be like immediate feedback, and be very direct and nice about it, but give feedback, because that is one thing I actually did not do very effectively, in the sense that at times when I felt that they were slacking off, I did not give them a direct feedback, when I feel I should have been more direct rather than being sweet about it. So it is better to be direct, of course, not rude, not condemning or anything like that, but at the same time pass on the feedback is especially important. And praise. So I would think praise in public, and reprimand in or whatever feedback that you want to give, and if they're not doing things well, reprimand in private would be another things which would keep the morale up of the team, and maybe help. So that was one point I had for Sonu. And Jagat, your points about meditation, I really liked it. I also meditate very little, actually, some 15 minutes of meditation, not very frequently. But your points about sattvic food, very well taken. I think we should, as founders, definitely look at something spiritual in our lives, because that will anchor us, that will ground us, basically. Some of the things which I also wanted to share with you regarding your challenge about product differentiation, that if we could know at least 3 things about Vidphone, why would we want to use Vidphone? The 3 things, 1, 2, 3, very prominently in all of your communications, that would be really helpful. Because today, if you ask me, I would not be able to tell. So that putting the communication across, that branding would really help, because you might have a lovely product, but till the time people know about why is it a lovely product, what are the key things, it wouldn't really stay in my memory. So those at least 3 things. Why Vidphone? What are the 3 things would really help? Partnerships with other folks, like there are a lot of people, like folks in CII, or I don't know. I could help you connect with folks in CII. So connects in CII, NASCOM you're already connected with. By the way, I would love some connects in NASCOM, because my focus segment happens to be IT services companies. So partnerships would really help you in terms of ecosystem development. So that was that was some of the things which I wanted to share with you. Third, about Subranil, actually. Subranil, I actually was also thinking about, again, the marketing part of it is really, because I don't know a lot about your company. Maybe some interviews with leading educators in the field, why they feel that your product is best. So some kind of indirect marketing, talking about, again, the key features of why a kid should use your product only, would really help. So just the buzz in the even in the startup circles might really help, in terms of branding, marketing development. Not sure if India is your market, but if India is your market, then definitely would help to know about it. And the last thing which I nearly forgot was Sonu mentioned about reaching out internationally. So one thing I was thinking of is today in the world of SaaS, self-service is very, very crucial. So just the idea of how do you onboard the customer smoothly. How does the person come onto your site and just types and says, okay, I want so and so many people. How is the process like? If you could just focus on that self-service part a lot, that would really also help, because in today's day and age, everybody has access to various sites and all. And if you are able to be there in front of your customer, can they move on to your website, do a self-service, reach out to your people, and are your people going to be responding quickly to that demand coming up? If you can look at that, fulfilling that, or making that self-service model smoother, maybe that might help. I mean, it could be one thing you could try actually. Self-service model, just like SaaS products, you go there, you buy, let's say, a Zoho today. You pay online, and you get the software. Similarly, can we have a very smooth process at your end, wherein the demand goes in quickly, somebody replies, starts interacting, and because I think that's what the international customer would definitely be interested in. And today, I think a lot of interaction over the web services is acceptable. People no longer want some guy from India to fly over, or even in US to fly over anywhere. I think everybody is more comfortable, and this is a great chance, Sonu. Aapke liye, it is a great chance, I guess, to reach across your market. By the way,
he is, by the way, getting customers from outside. He's very modest about all that, but you're right. Sonu, that's a very good
so
point.
that was about it. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, Kanchan, we can hear you. You're audible, super audible. Yeah. Okay. I think her connect.
Okay, great.
We heard you. We heard you.
Yeah, that was those were some of the points. But besides sharing my suggestions, actually, I had so much to learn today.
Thank you for this very, very valuable.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Kanchan, and thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming and taking the time out.
And thanks, Kanchan. I mean, like, I have noted a couple of points, so which I am going to implement from like coming days. So one is very, very good point which you mentioned, right? Outcome based model, because right now, I mean, like, I am focusing like day in day out. I mean, like, I'm not focusing on longer, like what this guy achieved during like past 1 week or 1 month. So if I focus on that, I mean, like, my day, like, time will be saved and I will get more output. Thank you.
And Kanchan definitely will connect further. Thanks for your inputs. And as I told you that this our education mission is, though idea may be very close to our heart, but I cannot say that I am the only one who's going to transform the whole world and India. That's not the way. So it's a very collaborative approach, and we are absolutely open. Whosoever is like-minded, we are ready to join hands, because it is more of a transformation and mission than just making money.
Nice. Yeah, it's about transformation and not just about making money. Beautiful.
Thanks, Kanchan, for your inputs. Well taken. Of course, we have
right. Absolutely. I think it seems very well with today's.
Take care, Kanchan, and we have to get you onto the hot seat maybe next Sunday. We don't know. Let's see. You have to tell us your time. Okay.
Right. Thanks, Jagat.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you,
Kanchan. Take care.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Happy to. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Take care.
Bye. Thank you, Kanchan.
Thanks.
So I think that was very nice of her, right? She actually had tabulated every single point, and
she heard everything. That's very nice.
Very nice.
So Vijetha, quickly a few points before we just wanted to share. Because I raised this point of collaboration. Why I'm actually talking about this, because I think me and Vijetha keep talking about this collaboration. There's no other way out because the amount of scale that this generation and this India is looking at. I'm not talking because the previous generation and all the scale was not expected so much. And we are very content with just making a day, some money, and then running the life. Now we are looking at because our whole mission is very transformational. So it's so why we are doing that? Like, for example, we are in STEM business. We are ready to give away money. As long as you are saying that you are making 70% effort and we are just giving you content of 30%, I will make 30 or 20% from it. You are running this whole show in Jaipur, Delhi, and any part of the country or world. You just run it. Like, for example, we are running in Dubai, in Qatar, and Qatar. In these places, that and our partners are making good, handsome money. The moment partners start making good money, na, that means your business is set actually, because
Yeah.
and they are motivated enough to collaborate further. So now he is thinking of actually taking some more portion in India also.
Oh,
So
very
it's
nice.
it's all good.
No, that's very encouraging, Subranil. So I mean, seriously, right? So this is what I like about both you and Sonu. You all are doing well, but at the same time, you are trying to take care of your people. You're trying to set some processes and systems. That's wonderful, guys. Just to give you a context, that we are on 725 right now. That's number one. Number two, we actually have. I'm trying to get. Lagan is there, Gautam is there, Hitesh is there, guys, and Guru is there. But you just need to raise your hand, and then I can quickly get you guys into the conversation. Okay, so that's important. And while that is happening, Jagat, people are talking about Vmail, and I think some of the pointers that Kanchan said also. I think you can do a little bit more work on that, right? Some nice infographics, some nice. You've done so much of community work, but I think it's time now to become a little bit more selfish to propagate. Learn from Sonu. Sonu is very good in sales, by the way. He does. He's written a book on sales as well, by the way.
So this is the book.
Yeah. It is a book, Art of Sales. He has actually gifted me a copy of it, and
Well,
I love. I love the book. It's very practical, huh, Jagat.
yeah.
So I have captured basic points here basically. I mean, like during from the like my childhood time to till now. I mean, like so typically I used to go in a like from because of COVID I am not going from past 1 year, but before I used to go in each like most of the events, and I used to connect with all these like around let's say 40-50 guys, and out of that one I used to see who is basically mean like my target customer. So I collect all business card and then keep on those Excel sheet, and then I used to send an email, then connect one to one basis. Yeah.
It's hard work, but an old-fashioned maybe, but that's the way to go about it, right? Yeah, Jagat.
Very interesting, Kanchan. That's very nice. 3 points. So last year, that is around when we raised our money, and I think a few months after that, I thought I had it fairly sorted with this kind of video quality and completely on the browser, where you don't have to download any application. You have a Bitphone address, bitphone.me/Subranil/Vijetha. I thought I had it figured, but then something happened in the 6 months. So now again we are differentiating more. So now the main things is we are here to help companies make money, drive customers, and make money using webinars and video sales. That's what we're about, and that's the direction. So video CRM, video mail, all of these are features. So happy to articulate that better. Thanks for that. Yeah.
Awesome. So, guys, we know. I mean, some of the thoughts here is about branding, image. See, is it a fact of life at times? I feel at some of our smaller businesses, and Sonu, Subranil, Jagat. How do you up your brand? Yeah. How do you? I mean, okay, not telling lies. I'm talking about ethically, cleanly, properly. But what is it that is missing in us, right? I mean, honestly, this is something that always troubles me. Where are we missing this? And it's an open question, right? What can we do better?
So, Vijay, you are referring to that is it how the brand should be, no? Like that why for example, if I say that India is so good at that means cuisine, we have so many variety of food, but Domino's and Burger Kings are more known than parathas and dosas. Why so? We always wonder actually, and we are very weak at that. Yes, I think if we always used to draw analogy between this Domino's and burgers, no, it is very easy to carry. It is very easy to start. The kitchen is very simple. It's non-smoky. So it's actually and more on that, Western countries are very strong in actually spending enough on the brand. I
Okay.
think we shy away. So these are the two things. If portability is there and flexibility in your brand, in your product is there, I think it will take the scale easily. That's the differentiation we found that.
Hmm, hmm. Interesting. So it was about customer experience, the UI, UX, that can't
Exactly.
the look and feel, that
So if
can't.
you see that, no, sorry, Vijetha, sorry. So like if you see Domino's, the packaging is so nice. It's so easy to carry. If I just say that now it has started happening in biryani and dosa, but chutneys are there and all those, earlier we never figured it out that how to make it very easy for the customers to carry. So that's why we started getting used to something which is very easy. So I think a lot of replications can happen.
Interesting.
So
And yeah, Jagat, you were saying?
now I was asking if Sonu wants to go on this, and then go.
So as per me, I mean, like right now, I am also, I mean, like seeking inputs in terms of the brand management side. But right now, I mean, like my way of working is more of typical like as a Marwadi business. So based on the referral, based on the connects, based on the reaching to one guy, and then seeking a LinkedIn network. All those things I am trying right now.
Okay, interesting. But I mean, so one of the things that you said was you want high quality inbound leads, which has got good profit, larger needs and all that, right? And I think even Jagat, you would also like that. Subranil, you would also like that, correct? So what can we do? Yeah, what can we do, man? I mean, I don't know. We're not having an answer here, but
Take the brand question. I missed that. I want to take that.
see, how do you make your brand more to stand out, right? So people look at it, they remember it, they say, okay, these guys you can be trusted. These guys give fantastic services. They're ethical. They're clean.
Yeah.
We can, work with them long term. We can refer them. So, you're all talking about referrals. So how do you refer? How do you get referred to?
One of the things that I think I learned about branding, and if you look at it, the way we have approached it, was we compete with large companies. I was taking an example of forget about the guys in the valley. Even in India, you had the largest company in India try video conferencing a few months ago. I don't think it's too much of a success. Right? There was a lot of so-called brand built. I don't think that's brand. That's just advertising. There's a difference between brand and advertising. My is brand. If I just pay a bunch of money to media outlets and put out my articles, that's advertising. So I think brand is more than a logo or a word. Brand is what the product is experience, how the customer experiences. And I think that's like the critical thing. Look at any brand that you may think of. Think of Apple, think of Nike, think of Coca-Cola, the largest brands on the planet. It's more than the logo. It's really the product experience. I think that's where, even in India, this is growing up culture in India also. The startup movement is getting more mature and involved. We understand better UX design. We understand better product flows. That is again customer design. So I think with that, India, I am very bullish on India. Me, I love my country. And I would not move anywhere at all. This is where we are. And I think the youth now, past 10 years, 2010 to 2020, we have enough graphic designers, UI designers, we have product managers, we have developers, we have front end, back end developers, testers. You have that ecosystem now that has 10 years of experience. And I think now you will start seeing the magic.
Okay.
That'll help in the brand.
Fantastic. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Vijetha, can you give me just 1 minute? I'll just one thing that I will relate back to what Jagat said exactly. So if you see our STEM boxes, the custom boxes, it is exactly like pizza box, very well designed. And we are very proud that it's been designed by India's packaging guru, Prabhudas Gupta. You may know him. He's actually the Nestle and Maggie's packaging and all those we got.
Okay.
So he designed so well that it can be carried anywhere and can be kept in shelf for 12 months, 18 months. And it is for kids. There's no edge, there's no sharp edges, and it is very lightweighted. So you just carry anywhere. So we actually really focused on that it is usable and kids actually should get a good experience, that they love it.
Interesting. So, and also, like, what about, when we talk about Tesla, it has no connection to car, but we all know what Tesla is. We all know what Apple stands for. We know what is Intel. So, it takes time. It just can't be done overnight. But how do we do it, right? I mean, this is something that I would love to see some Indian startups work with us, collaborate with them, collaborate with each other. Like, can Sonu and Subranil come together? Can Jagat work with Sonu? Right? Kanchan is saying that she wants to talk to you and Subranil and whatever and figure out how to work together. So these are some of the things, the success stories of collaborations and partnerships, affiliate marketing, referral marketing. If you guys can figure out, I think you all can grow 100x within no time and be very, very profitable.
Correct.
So I think that's a food for thought for all of us. Guys, it's 7:33. Okay, so the promise that we give is today is a Sunday. and you're all family people. So am I actually, but so we don't want to just. I mean, we have Gautam, we have Hitesh, we have Ranjan, we have Lagan also there. But if you guys want to come online, Guru,
I think
you have,
Lagan wants to come online. No?
yeah, he needs to raise hand, Lagan. If you do the raise hand, then immediately we can get you online. So, what are the other resources, guys? Books, mentors, coaches. Very quickly, till Lagan figures out how to come online, would there be something that you all can share about very quickly?
I can go for this one. Something I really, of course, we've been following, I think ever since Eric Rice and Steve Blank wrote about lean startup development. The theory has been there for a few years now. But one of the essays written by Steve Blank, which is on markets, market type, I don't know if you guys are aware of that. He talks about the 4 types of markets: new market, existing market, segmented market, and a price specific market. That is, I think for every startup founder, if you read that, it will give you a lot of clarity. And I think that's a must read. I'll try and share the link now. But Steve Blank, market types, I think if this is something that is very important, specifically with respect to new market and existing markets. We always look to build new products. Like I built social commerce 2010. We were building hybrid apps in 2012, 13, video chat in 2016. Now we're doing this. The most important thing is to understand that there is no money in new markets. There is no money at all. Do not try and build a brand new product that no one's tried. You cannot. None of the companies in the world, be it Apple, be it Google, be it Facebook, they were never the first in their class. That's a big learning for me. And I think every startup founder should take that very seriously. This is something, it's very revealing to me actually. So either you go to existing market. Existing markets are tough because you generally have large incumbents, competition, price game, feature game. But you look at resegmenting markets. Like, for example, video conferencing for finance people or webinars for artists, whatever, right? I think that's Steve Blank is a tip that I want to share. I'll share the link.
Yeah, please. Yeah, thanks so much, Jagat. That's very kind of you. Subranil and Sonu?
Yeah, quickly, Vijetha, that what for last 1 year now I've been practicing because Sonu and me, I think we all of us fundamentally aligned. That's why we connect to each other, link to each other, relate to each other so much. So I also believe the referral system. But during my entrepreneur cafe and all those also, I tried enough is to make a referral system more systematic. It has to continuously keep working for you. It cannot be a Bhagwan Bharose that one day somebody will give me business and I will run my life. So this last 1 year, with certain group, we tried actually make the referral system very systematic. You that means I give 4 referrals and Sonu give me 3 referrals, not by force, by heart. That he knows that if I give enough, I think I will go a little spiritual about it. If I give enough to the world, it gives me back. It's like Newton's law.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So if I give enough, then, and I'm going to tell you that there's a science behind that. My credibility increases actually. And while credibility increases, when I'm trying to actually help Sonu, I'm learning enough for that. And who knows that I'm getting connected with few people there.
Okay.
Actually, I get business from them because they know that this guy is making enough effort to do something for someone. It actually happens. And I have actually experienced it. Actually, it happens. So this is a systematic one that we have tried developing in last 1 year. Is that it should happen. And there's a lot of technology can be used behind that, but slowly it is evolving. But one can try that.
Thanks, yeah. That's a nice one, yeah, Subranil. Good, great. Please. Sonu, you would like to?
Yes. For me, for which Vijita mentioned, like collaboration mode and the kind of the referral mode work very well. And I identify in each city, kind of the city lead or kind of you call as a community manager. And by that mean like I am getting a lot of kind of the benefits in terms of the customer acquisition or developers or getting like reaching to tier 2, tier 3 city. And you will get a G access and they want to host like, let's say they want to launch their startup or they want to do any business in Bangalore or like other big cities, so they can easily access to that. So that is the learning I had.
Beautiful. And I was just reading that that onboarding, remote hiring, and work from home hiring is improving so crazily that and of course Jagat, that also helps you because video conferencing, video calling, video sales, remote sales, video mails, whatever the new technologies that you're bringing on is going to be very good. And STEM, right? I mean, I should take some classes from you and go through some of your blogs and videos, Subranil.
So,
Okay.
and Vijetha, one more thing that is coming out is co-hiring. There's no
Okay.
point actually just bearing the cost alone.
Correct, correct. Understood. Yeah, yeah. So that one person can actually do 1.5 jobs, and at a cost you. Yeah, everyone saves money. Everyone makes money. Interesting. Very interesting. Awesome, guys. So you know what? It's 7:40. So we are been on this for 1 hour 10 minutes. Jagat, Sonu, and Subranil. So I think I would love your closing remarks from each one of you. Something very crisp. And again, the audience, if you guys want to come online, you're most welcome. But right now, I would love to take some remarks from each of you guys, please.
Shall I?
Whoever go first. Yeah, please.
So
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, quickly. I think it's
so
been
from my
wonderful.
side,
I think.
basically, it's more of partnership and collaboration model, like which we should be focusing on.
No, Vijetha, I think it's very obvious is that because Founders Feed and overall we are actually bringing the concept of speed networking. My other company, which is there, actually is about linking minds. You make business actually when you take the shortest way, not the unnecessary smartest way. That means you're compromising certain things. Because I keep telling that if I'm new in Bangalore and if I have to go to MD Road from Whitefield, if Vijetha is actually old and he knows the city, he would actually tell me the nicest and fastest way of reaching MG Road.
Okay.
So this kind of connect is very much important, and what we are doing as a part of Founder Speed and other ecosystem, that the speed that we are trying to bring in terms of networking.
Okay. Yeah, totally agree with you, boss. Networking is so important. Networking which has got value and which will bring in people. Oh, we have Chetak here. Hey, Chetak, how are you? Are, collaborate wherever is possible. So we had Chetak yesterday for the League of Extraordinary Startups. Nice to see him here. Okay, please, guys, continue. I mean, continue talking. Jagat?
Yeah, sure. Happy to share. Firstly, thanks to Sonu and thanks to Subranil as well. And thanks to Vijetha also. Thanks to all the viewers also. My only thing is that I hope everyone learned something. I hope there was some benefit in the 1 hour. That's what really matters to us. It's not just about doing events or something like this. We of course do it week on week, and it's a continuous process. Though for the panelists, it's a one-time thing. For us, it's a continuous thing. And now we want the panelists also. Boardroom discussions don't happen one time. Like I want to have such a way that people who have done it again come back 1 week later with maybe a different group, and they'll exchange some more ideas and make it more actionable. So we can work that. And thanks to all the viewers. Thanks to Kanchan and Sheila, Madam. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
And, this is what makes the community, guys. And I think Vijetha is like the flag bearer, and happy to support.
So the request, see guys, Subranil and Sonu, the request we have is we want to add more founders to the founders feed group. Number one, I think some of the things that is coming out is that we should do some sessions, Jagat, on brand management. We should do some sessions on personal branding. 100% we should do more sessions on sales. Okay, remote sales, video sales, whatever it is. Even the Vidphone show, right, which you are, where you're bringing in stories on tools on digital marketing, remote sales, that's very critical. And I think Subranil, why don't you do something for us on, okay, not for kids, for founders, how can they use some of these technology tools, right? Technology, education, some of these things that they can, use to sell better or present better or speak better, communicate better. I'm just throwing it out to the audience, man.
Yeah, absolutely, Vijetha, and you brought it up nicely. Like for example, I have a collaborator who does on the emotional intelligence, which is very effective.
Beautiful.
So he can easily come, and he is like one of the like-minded guy of my group. He will be glad to come actually on the show.
Oh, beautiful. Done, boss. Thank you, Subranil. That's very, very kind of you. Okay. So I think, gentlemen, it's 7:43, 1 hour 15 minutes almost. Thank you so much, Sonu. We are letting you go back to your family. And
Thank you.
all right. So take care, guys. Thank you, everyone. This was a beautiful Startup Sunday session. And look, of course, tune in for other things that we are doing. And the Startup Sunday also is coming up. Join the gang, join the group, join the community. Let's all have fun and keep growing, guys. Make more money.
Thank you.
God bless you, Vijetha. You're doing a lot. You are the great giver.
Not at all, sir. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Cheers.